work, 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 work. To me, I be work, 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 work. See me do me dirt, 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 dirt. So me for that work, 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 work. When you walk a line, 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 line. In the girls and murder, da, 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 da. Drive me a dessert. Nothing to have you lurking.
Yeah.
You make a like, now you don't like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in the righteous. Nobody text me in a crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience. You took my heart, I must leave a decoration. You mistaken my love, I brought for you for foundation.
Hey YouTube, it's your girl Miss Angie, and I'm coming to bring you another video for this mental health. The first video for this mental health series. I kind of wanted to wait a little later down in the line for me to talk about this subject, but I feel like this week it just definitely was on my heart to talk about it. So, by the title, this video is based on the moment that I wanted to end my life. The thoughts of not wanting to live anymore. And I think it's hard for me to give it a name and say suicide, because I know in my thoughts I didn't know exactly what or how I wanted to do it. I just knew I didn't want to live anymore. And I was listening to a podcast a few days ago at work with Iyanla. She has those series where she, helps fix everyone's lives. And I was listening to a podcast that she had, and the lady who had called in, she was talking about someone in her family committing suicide and how it hurt her, and just different situations that were going on in her family. And the point that she had made when she was talking to the caller was that suicide isn't about the killing, isn't about the moment of what you want to do as far as how to take your life. It's the pain that you dealt with. It's the pain that causes you to want to take your life. Now, at the time I was in my 20s, I was young, and I didn't really understand. I just knew I didn't want to live. And then it made me think back, okay, because currently I'm in counseling, and I've talked about that in my past videos, but when I was younger, of course, I didn't really know what it was. Why would I want to take my life? I have loving family. I have supportive friends. I don't have a lot of friends, but I have my supportive friends. So I had to look back. So what is the root to why I wanted to take my life? I feel like I blamed everybody else for my pain, but it was a pain that just built from a course of years. So I decided to journey back. What was the root? I look back to when I was growing up. Like I said, I had a great family and a 2-parent household, parents who loved me. Growing up in elementary, I was bullied. And I think that was a trigger just to a downfall in my self-worth. I got into middle school, high school. I wasn't popular, but I wasn't unpopular. I had my group of friends that understood me, and I just kind of rolled with it. But when you get in middle school, you start to look at your body shape. You start to look at the clothes that you have on, and you see that you don't match other girls. So that could have been the start of the comparison. I would compare myself. And as I got older, of course, middle school, high school, the relationships that I got into then leads into your 20s, and you look at failed relationships. You look at being used in relationships, lied to, abusive relationships that I was in. And I feel like that started to take a toll on me. In high school, you know, people say those relationships really don't count. You know, they're young, but I feel like everything that you go through counts. Because I know, like I talked about in my last few videos, I didn't really know how to date. I didn't know what I was looking for. You know, you just see somebody who's attractive to you. You want to fit. You just want to fit. You want to have a boyfriend. You want to just, you know, be able to live life and enjoy it. And I think when I noticed that I was different, you know, I was a good girl. I went to church. And when I say good, it was like, you know, I was just a basic child. Go to school, go to church, you know, have your family, your friends. Nothing really too big. But I just knew I never really knew where to fit in. I never knew. Like I said, I wasn't popular, but I wasn't unpopular. But I just never knew where to fit. Where was my fit? And I could have reached out to my mom at that time, but as I got older, I knew the relationship on me and my mom started to pull for different reasons. So I didn't really have an outlet. Like, I had an outlet, but I never talked about it. It was just something that you just keep in. You know, your parents may tell you, or friends, hey, you know, you can always talk to me. Let me know what's up. And I was just that person that held stuff in until it exploded, until it just released. So, as I said, I kind of had to travel back and look at it. Okay. So in my 20s, I'm working. I was working 3 jobs. I was going to school. I just wanted something for my life. I told myself I want to be married one day because that is how I was brought up. You know, make sure you're married and then you can start your family. I just wanted to do right. I feel like I had a battle between trying to live this Christian walk and trying to appease guys that I was dating, and that was hard. And it just seemed like it was a constant battle. And then when you look up and you find that you just don't love yourself, you don't have that self-love. I can be honest and say I didn't like the person I saw in the mirror. I didn't care for her. I didn't think she was pretty, even though other people thought I was pretty. I didn't think she was strong. I just knew I would tuck stuff in and keep it pushing. So when I get to meeting my daughter's father, which was the longest relationship I've been in, I brought all that pain, all that hurt to that relationship. And at that age, we were really young. You know, you're in your younger 20s, and I've already been through an abusive relationship. I've already been through a guy having a child on me and all of this stuff, you know. So if you never heal from it, you bring it to your next relationship. And so bringing that pain, bringing that hurt, just opened the door for other things. Now, we definitely had our own personal issues in a relationship and in the downfall of our relationship. But at that moment, I remember how I felt the day we were having the conversation in the car, just talking. And I just felt like I could never match up to what he wanted me to be. I'm like, dang, I just don't feel like I look like these other girls with the bodies. I feel like, and once again, not having self-love for myself, I just wasn't strong in the relationship. I didn't have that confidence. So we were in the car talking, and I just felt like it was just a list of things that I couldn't accomplish. And I remember telling him, like, I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to do this. I don't want to live life. And I was hurting. And I remember that night he took me over to my parents' house, and my parents was asking, like, why do you feel like you want to take your life? And it was just so much confusion. I appreciate him for taking me over there to my parents, though, because I don't know what I would have did. I don't know if I would have got in a car and just, it's no telling where I was at, because I just didn't know. I knew I was at a blank. I knew I was tired. I knew I had so much pain, just built up that I just didn't know how to release. I never healed from it. So I remember my best friend, she, had the pastor in the church pray for me when I went to church one Sunday with them. And I even tried to do counseling with her pastor, and I just wasn't ready. It was just like the pain of it all. I couldn't be honest with what I was trying to say. So the relationship between me and my daughter's father continues. We were together for like 8-9 years. We had a daughter, and things didn't work out. And once again, I feel like, dang, I just feel like it's another failed relationship. And you go from one type of lifestyle to another. When we broke up, I moved out, and it's like I went from having, a nice, decent home to moving into an apartment. I went from driving a Yukon and a Charger to a hatchback Malibu. Like, things started to change, but I felt God was telling me, like, you have to look at who you are, because I never loved myself. Working hard, having a nice home, having the cars that I was like, wow, we get to drive something nice, that I can say I own, to having a child, something that I wanted to be married. I just felt like I was going towards that relationship goals place, but I still didn't have that self-love for me. You can't strive in a relationship having the thoughts of wanting to take your life and trying to build a relationship on not having love for yourself. So I went from one extreme to having to another extreme and having to rebuild my life. And in that moment, I felt God transforming me, but it still wasn't enough, because even during the breakup, you have so much pain. You start to talk to people and deal with people that you know are not right for you, as far as relationship wise, or it just was all bad. You go from 9 years in a relationship to not knowing how to date, and I was just out here lost. So my main focus after so long was my daughter and me. And I went and got counseling, and it was hard because you got to talk to somebody that you don't know. But sitting here today, I can tell you I don't have those thoughts of wanting to take my life. And I thank God that I didn't. And I still am a work in progress. I still have my days, but I'm so much better than what I am. And I know the love that I have for myself, and I know the love that I'm building for myself. And on the Side note of the self-love, I remember listening to the podcast with Carisha Please, and Black China was on there, and she was talking about letting go of the lip fillers and letting go of the butt injections and going back to being normal. But the reason why she did those things is just, it boils all down to not having self-love, wanting to be a part of what's hot, looking like the other girls. And I thought about that, and it hit me. And it's like being who you are, loving who you are in the mirror. That means loving yourself without the hair, loving yourself without the lashes, loving yourself without the makeup, because all of those things are a bonus that is added to you. Those things are bonuses. It's okay to want to get cute and look nice, but if you don't love who you see in the mirror at its rawest and natural feature, then it's pointless. The same thing with if you decide to want to get surgery. If you don't like the body that you see in the mirror and you decide you want to change it and do different things, make sure that you love who you are, though, regardless of that body that you want to have. Make sure you're not doing it for nobody else but you. Because I had those thoughts. Maybe if I had a little bit of this added to my body, that guys would start to like me. That was my issue. That was my issue. So I know the feeling. And it was all because I didn't love who I was. I didn't love who I was inside. Another podcast that I was listening to was Angie Martinez, and she had Kim Kardashian on there. And Kim was talking about when she got robbed in Paris. She realized that all the material stuff that she thought mattered to her, that made her, the cars, the clothes, the purses, that was just material things. In that moment when she thought that she was going to lose her life, she knew that none of that stuff mattered. She knew that it was no place for those material things. Those things come and go. And I thought back to when I thought I lost it all, restarting my life. Those things are material. You can get those things back. But the cars that you drive, the outfits that you wear, that does not make you. That's not who you are. It's the person in your heart. You can wear those things. You can drive those cars. You can try to be this person. But if your heart isn't right, then those things are just things. It does not make you. So in this moment, I'm working on the betterment of me because I have kids, and I'm teaching my daughter, that you got to love who you are. You have to love the skin that you're in. You have to love the hair that you have. And it was so cute because I remember one day I was in the bathroom and I was like, oh, I just look crazy. I was going to put on my lashes. And my daughter told me, she said, Mom, you're beautiful without those lashes. You're beautiful. And that moment I knew I'm doing the right thing as far as teaching my child that beauty is within you. It's not about what you have on your body or what you've done to your body. It's not about the cars. It's not about none of that. It's about the love within you. And I keep stressing that point because I almost took my life because of things that built up within me. Because that self-love that I didn't have for myself. Because I was so in tune with how everybody else looked at me when it didn't matter. God loves me. My family loves me. Close people that I know love me. And that's all that matters. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to look like everybody else. And that's just what it is. And like I said, you can always add a little makeup, dress a cute outfit, all of that. You know, dress in a cute outfit, add a little, your accessories and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with having nice things for yourself. Nothing wrong with that. Because I love my gym shoes. I love certain things. But it's about making sure that that stuff does not make you. That stuff does not control you. That stuff does not cause you to go into debt just to match everyone else. I got my own lane. I might want to dress up. I might want to throw on some gym shoes and some joggers. That's me. And I'm going to live that way that's comfortable for me. I don't want to sit up here and look like everybody else. I want to look like me. I want to know my purpose in life. And I thank God that I'm here today to do this video, because if you feel like you want to take your life, reach out to someone, talk to someone, let them know what you're feeling, somebody that you feel comfortable with, because you have purpose in life. You have a purpose. We all do. And if I didn't live out my purpose, and if I would have took my life, I would not have my kids. I would not have the things that I have. I may not be married yet, but I know it's in the cards for me. And I'm not going to give up. Never give up, because life will happen. The good, the bad. Life, the death. But that all happens on God's time. Do not let go of your life and your purpose. You have to fight this thing out. So many times I cried in my apartment, looking at what do I have to offer my daughter. And I just slowly had to build my way back up. And God made it happen. Those days that I felt low, those days that I felt like I needed a man in my life to justify and validate me. And I didn't. God had to bring me all the way down. It's like he had to strip me of everything to build me back up and say, you are needed, you are wanted, you are here for a reason. And without that moment, I don't know where I would be. So I just want to thank you guys for listening to this video. I pray that if you ever thought of wanting to end your life, that you take a second and think about what your purpose is. Why are you here? Why are you on earth? It's for a reason. And God loves you, and he wants you here. So I just want to say thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for listening. Bye.